Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited return is officially here. Right Time Arca series is back for season 2. Of course, we couldn't do it without T. Elliott Heating and Air Conditioning. We appreciate them for sponsoring this season entirely. Of course, the drivers are on track right now for qualifying. We're going to let them finish out that qualifying session before we get on the road to the first race of the season. And you hear it in the background, Hell's Bells. That's probably what most of the drivers feel like tonight's going to be. Of course, it is Asphalt Racing Network coming back for the second season here for ARCA, and will be streaming the first season for trucks tomorrow night. So be sure to check in. As always, my name is Tyler Jones, and I have a very special guest in the booth tonight. You guys know him well as the Rookie of the Year for Season 1, the People's Choice, a.k.a. Mickey Stewart.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you bringing me into the booth. Super excited. Been thinking about this all week. Shout out to all the drivers for showing up. I'm excited. It's Daytona, baby. You don't know what's going to happen.
Do not know what's going to happen at all. That is really the biggest scare right now. We have a lot of cars in here right now. There's at least 52 drivers in the session right now. Unfortunately, at least 10 of those drivers are going to get the axe. It is a qualify-in session. We are seeing a lot of the qualifiers happen right now, but the biggest question is who will be the top 40 to make it in the session?
Yeah, qualifying you're in. That definitely changes things up. It's Daytona, so everybody wants a piece of the action. You expect to see some good drivers qualify up front, and we'll see who's at the end or towards the bottom to start, and we'll see who can climb.
Right now, looking on the left-hand side of your screen, the tower is up, showing you the top 10 drivers that have practically secured their spot in right now. DJ Norris, I believe that is, in the 1 spot. Then, of course, newcomer John Wyatt in 2nd. Aaron Wright qualifying in 3rd. Kristen DeWald in 4th. Wiesner qualifying in 5th. That is a shock. Probably the most. Wiesner has been, I would say, the biggest developmental driver we really have had. And I feel like Season 2 actually might be a good thing for him. What do you feel like, Mickey?
It's been a lot of fun watching Max improve over last year, coming into this year, running preseason races, recruitment races. Him qualifying, it looks like in the top 5 is impressive for him. Hopefully he can stay clean and he can stay up front. I'd like to see Max have a good finish today.
And of course, looking over the track right now, you see the beautiful sky cam right now at Daytona. We'll go ahead and throw the weather up on your screen and see what these drivers are going to be dealing with here tonight. Right now, it is 77 degrees on the track, only 9-mile-per-hour winds. Of course, beautiful clear skies with only 71% humidity. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem for the drivers tonight. Low wind, low humidity, which means the tires aren't going to get bald as quick as they would if the humidity was just a little bit higher, around that 80% mark. Of course, we are going to have 200 miles before the end of this race. I think that is about 81 laps before we actually get to announce the first victory of Season 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a good long season. Definitely excited to get it started today and see who starts off on the right foot and see who can finish the race or who's got to improve for next week. It's a long year, but it starts now, partner.
Start now, indeed. We have officially moved over to the warm-up session of the night. Drivers get one last opportunity to either draft with their teams or just get a good pack run before we start this race. right now, most likely a few people getting the axe who have qualified. If you didn't qualify, it's an unfortunate situation, but we will see you next week. Right now, you're seeing Jared Williamson on the track with Jordan Fisher just behind John Wyatt, also on the track here in warm-ups. A lot of returning names. 74 of Sprecher back on the track again. Justin Baird as well. Chad Sherlow in the 99 makes his return for season 2. Someone we didn't think we would see in season 2 officially back. That is the 92 of Omar Rodriguez Jr.
Yeah, it's good to see these names come back. Some big names still in this league. Some good drivers, really good competition. It is I believe a beginner friendly league. So, these good drivers are good to have. They're very helpful to those younger drivers or less experienced drivers. And of course, they all have their teams now and teammates. So I know all the teams been working really hard this week to get dialed in, get their strategies figured out, make sure they're all on the same page, and try to keep their manufacturers together as well.
And that is the biggest thing tonight is going to be the team manufacturing. There is a lot of Chevys in this field, and I feel like that's something we've seen a lot over the course of this week so far, even with the American Stock Car Racing League last Monday. But it was almost a Chevy dominant field across the board. Looking through right now, I'm seeing a lot of Toyotas, a lot of Chevys, and a little few Fords sprinkled in here and there. So I feel like Toyotas might have an opportunity to kind of give it to the Chevys tonight, but we're just going to have to see. Can't count the chickens before they hatch. But of course, we want to thank our sponsor of the race tonight. A little pat on the back for that man. That being YungHitta Collectibles from Whatnot. He has sponsored that race. And it will be probably not the only race that gets sponsored by YungHitta Collectibles. Guys, if you are looking for any collectible needs, be sure to check out my Whatnot. Obviously, YungHitta Collectibles. Just type in YungHitta, all one word, and you will be able to find that. Next show is going to be this Saturday at about 12 in the afternoon Eastern. Dollar starts on everything, and we have a lot of Donruss 2025 card packs that we will be doing rip and ships on. So don't miss your opportunity to possibly get some autographed die cast or some rubber relic cards. You do not want to miss that opportunity.
Yeah, young hitter. As far as I understand, he didn't start on Whatnot till somewhat recently, and it's been a lot of fun to watch him blow up the last month or two, and grow his show, grow his brand, and just have fun. You can tell he has fun. You have fun doing them shows, man.
The shows are definitely fun. It's been a growing brand. It has been a little difficult to get off, but it has worked. We have just officially hit a new follower goal here on Twitch. Appreciate it for the 180th follow on the channel. We have been growing steadily, and we continue to grow. If you guys are wanting to join the personal Discord, do !Discord in the chat. You will get that as well. If you are available, American Stock Car Racing League does have a little GoFundMe right now for somebody's daughter in that league. Her name is Bristol, and she is fighting a battle against leukemia. So if you are able to donate, !GoFundMe in chat. All proceeds go to the family to help them out with everything they need for that little girl.
Yeah, shout out to her for sure. I think I could speak on the behalf of all right time drivers, saying we've been thinking about her and hoping and praying for the best for her and her family. So definitely shout out. You get a chance, check that out, and make sure you donate if you can.
We are getting literally moments away from a green flag here. They're gridding. We're about to go through the grid in just 1 second. I forgot to do my last little few setups. Link in chat. That is going to be a pinned message until the end of the stream. If you have even $1, make sure you go check it out. Looking at the top of the grid now, on your screen, we have... Oh, where's the correct camera view? There we go. We have DJ Norris qualifying in first in the 82. John White on the outside of him in line 1. Aaron Wright in line 2 with Christopher DeWald on the outside. Max Wiesner in top 5 with Christopher... Oh, Lord, I'm going to butcher this name all night. Kovalenko in 6th. Caleb Hess in 7th. Jason Oblinski in 8th. Jared Smith in 9th with Mark Morton rounding out your top 5. Chris Sprecher in 11th. Brent oh man, I should have checked before I even did this. Starkey in 12th. We got Steel City Racing's very own Corey Rainey in 11th with Jesse Singleton in 14th. Excuse me. Corey in 13th running the 11. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 15th. Matthew Francis in 16th. Price 17th. Chris Melton 18th. Jeffrey Bourne in 19th. Landers in 20th. Barrington in 21st with Moore in 22nd. Pete Dillon in 23. Ward on the outside. And they are about to be green here. Green flag out. First laps of the new season are officially underway.
Boogity boogity, partner. Let's go.
Let's go indeed with a wide cam here. We're following DJ Norris on the top right now. Really single filed out so far. You got to wonder how long these guys are going to stay single file for, as of course it is a draft track. Aaron Wright going under the apron there.
See a little bit of strategy come into play already. And look at that, Max Wiesner out front, partner.
Wiesner out front in the Budweiser number 8. Outside of him is Corey Rainey in a FedEx 11. Already fighting for the lead 2x2. So far, top line has pretty good momentum with the cars that they do have up there. Not too many cars right now, as you did kind of expect that at this point in time in the race. Everybody really wanted to go single file, get that strategy out. Now Rainey's going to dive down low, take the lead over Wiesner. Actually, with a little bit of a block, he's wanting to run that high side.
Yeah, the 11 stuck it out there. He's got a little bit of a gap out there. You got Omar on the outside right there. A couple of good drivers up front. You see the drivers kind of already broke off into 2 different packs. Kind of expected this early. Hopefully get some green laps under our belt. And like you said, let the strategy kind of come to the drivers.
Now, of course, over time, we're going to see a lot of different maneuvers and a lot of different runs here, as these guys do have a lot of laps to go. Remember, this is ARCA. There are no stages. The only breaks you get are during a caution or your pit cycles, which are roughly about 16 seconds. These drivers only have 75 laps of fuel in the tank with 4 sets of tires and only 1 fast repair. So the name of the game is to manage your tires and avoid all wrecks as you possibly can. I mean, some are inevitable, but you have to do what you can to stay out of the way.
Rule number 1 at the draft track: stay clean. Try to make it to the end. It's definitely tough. These guys are only inches apart, 200 miles an hour. If something goes wrong in front of you, a lot of times there's just not enough room to do anything. The ARCA having 1 fast repair helps a little bit. I'm pretty impressed with the start so far. We've been 4 laps of green here, so it's an excellent way to start off the season.
Oh, it's a great way to start off the season as of right now. We are lap 4 out of 80. We've seen a few wiggles, nothing too crazy so far. Everybody trying to get acclimated with the track. It has been a long-awaited return. Most of these drivers have been practicing in the off time. Of course, Right Time was hosting preseason races, so they have had a lot of time to get acclimated with each other as long as they showed up. But that's the key. Have many of these drivers showed up to all those pre-races, or have they just been waiting for the Daytona kickoff?
Ooh, looks like a yellow, partner.
Caution out already on the field. I don't see a crash report. We're going to have to try to see if we can find it through the sky. Now, remember, only 41 drivers allotted here tonight. Blake Sherrill is kind of broken out from the pack. Let's go back before the yellow came out, follow Blake, and see if anything happened with him. Or I'm not going to get an active camera. All right. Don't you love it?
Technology's technology, buddy. You gotta love it. You know, like you said, the 33 looks like he broke off, or he's behind the pack a little bit, so it's hard to say what happened. But like we said, there's a fast repair in the ARCA League, so you know, if he's got to use it, hopefully he can stay clean the rest of the way and get to the end of this race.
Well, I mean, we could figure it out real quick. Exactly what happened. Surprise. Hi, David. So, I'm not getting a crash report. Was that a misclick or was there an actual wreck?
We're trying to find it. I think it was the 45. He was blinking and like I was trying to watch him and then my screen would go black and then he popped up like destroyed. So honestly, no idea.
Well,
we're trying to find it, but he just like he keeps blinking and going in and out and then he pops back up and he's got the meatball flag.
Yeah, he's even doing that right now in pits because he keeps changing my camera angles. So, well, we're going to let you get back with Mike Nitty and try to figure out what the heck is going on. But we were just as confused as you, so we needed to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, we're working on it. So, but yeah, we believe it's the 45.
Don't forget to reshare your screen when you get down there.
I got you.
Well, Race Control's just as confused as us. He seems to be network connection issues that are and have caused that first caution. Things happen. That normally does happen here for a lot of people. And, of course, with it being the last 2 weeks before we get that Season 2 update for iRacing, you kind of expected it to happen. It's something that unfortunately is a little bit fleeting every week. You have a lot of network connection issues and packet loss at the end of each season. Now we're experiencing a little bit tonight. Hopefully it won't really impact majority of the people's racing. Thankfully, the 45 was what seems to be the only one affected.
Yeah, you just taught me something, partner. I didn't know that that was a trend with iRacing there. You know, I deal with it myself too, so my heart goes out to those guys. Sometimes, you know, it's uncontrollable. You get what you get with the bandwidth sometimes. So, again, the heart goes out to those guys. Hopefully they can bounce back and get it figured out and everything holds up for them and we can get back to green.
So, of course, at the time of the caution, DeWald was the leader. So he will stay the leader this time. John Wyatt in second, Corey Rainey in third, Wiesner still in fourth place with Oblinski, rounding out your top five. Now, notably, those drivers did not go into pits. Everybody up to 16th place, that being the 65 of Jordan Fisher, all have stayed out on the track. Some have went into pits, others still have not. So, of course, Sprecher still out. He has not went into pits yet. Then you have, I believe, Taylor Miner, who has also not went into pits. Aaron Wright has stayed out himself. Kevin Nolf and Laird Landers have not went in as well. So a few cars not needing a gas and go pretty early on, as that is going to affect your position on the track, which is also going to affect your restart position and possibly put you in a wreck. So it's a quite questionable strategy we're going to see from these drivers staying out, but obviously this is something they've talked about for a few weeks now, so you've got to wonder how good it will actually work for them.
Yeah, you see basically two different strategies so far. It looks like, have our fans take a mental note of our lead pack here, and see who benefits the most from it. The ones who pitted, the ones who didn't. As you're watching, keeping an eye on that specific driver you're watching. Watch their strategy, see how they do, see if it works out for them. Like you said, you had some that pitted, some or the ones that did pit more likely just took the fuel, playing the fuel game. Going to extend those tires out as long as they can, cut down on their pit time stops. So yeah, and then like you said, you pit, changes your position. You might be in the middle a little bit and could be dangerous sometimes.
Well, right now, looks like the pace car lights are off. They are in choose formation. So DeWalt and Wyatt will be taking us back to green flag once that pace car makes that left-hand turn in a new restart zone, which we do have a graphic for, by the way. Veterans United Brewery down in Jacksonville, Florida, brewed in the USA, is sponsoring our restart zone for the entirety of the season. So get used to seeing this graphic on your screen a lot.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely shout out to Veterans United. Season-long sponsor. That's a heck of a commitment, and we really appreciate them supporting Right Time.
And now green flag out in the Veterans United restart zone. Beautiful flyby from the flag stand camera.
Front four get single file, you're double file, then on back. See if this front pack can link up and kind of put some space between them. Corey Rainey putting it on the outside. He wants to get that fresh air and lead.
Right now, those top five drivers have got a lot. Look at Wiesner with a crazy run on the high side. Dives low in front of Rainey now in P1 again. 21 of Jeffrey Bourne now slowly making his way back up the field with a train behind him of drivers that are still hungry to touch the lead. Only 9 laps so far. Not many lead changes, but Wiesner trying to seal the deal early for himself.
Yeah, and shout out Max. He's hanging in there. He's holding his ground, putting together a good start of the race. Had one heck of a run there, made the transition down to the bottom good, smooth, had plenty of room. So definitely shout out to Max. You can see the improvement that he's made in the offseason paying off right now.
And you see Rainey locking bumpers there, trying to give him a good run on that bottom side. Top line slowly closing in right now. You got to wonder how long is it going to take before that high side gets the run. We've seen a lot of lead changes so far from what have happened on that high side to a dive down. Jeffrey being possibly the next one. He currently has the lead on the outside run. The question is he going to stay low or is he going to stay high with that momentum?
I expect Jeffrey to stay high here. He's practicing the high groove all week. In the Monday race, he ran a lot of the high line, came close to a good, to winning that race. So Jeffrey, definitely a little more of a veteran on the track here. He knows this track very well, and I expect him to finish well. He's always been a good driver. So he did go to the bottom there, and you can see that top line's definitely carrying momentum early in the race.
Carrying momentum indeed. All of our leaders have come from that outside line. They've dove down. Barrington just made it around Bourne for the lead. Now it's Corey Rainey and Hudgens trying their attempt to get that lead position. Huge wreck in the backfield. And a caution is going to be out that time by. My, oh my.
A big one early, partner. A big one early. This is definitely going to take race control a minute to get this one figured out.
Many cars involved. We're going to try to find at least one car involved in that caution. I believe Kevin Nolf was one of the vehicles. So we're going to go ahead and follow him for his perspective, get you a nice, good camera angle. This was the back of the pack coming up to that main wreck. I believe 14 was the first one to go around, that being Kyle Barrington.
Yeah, you can just see how fast stuff stacks up in front of you, man. There's just nothing you can do. 14's got a lot of front end damage there. Probably definitely worthy of a fast repair.
You see it right there. We're going to back that up just a little bit as we came in on it immediately. Wiesner and Barrington were bumper locked. Barrington went up just a little bit. Wiesner went up just a little bit, gave him a tap on that right rear side, and you already know what happens when you give somebody a tap on that right rear side. Sends them right up the track, right in front of RVR's Mark Randall, and practically put him airborne over the car.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a free ride, a little free gas mileage there, riding on top of the 18. But like you said, partner, you're in the middle of that pack going into a turn. That air tunnel and that momentum kind of wants to take you up the track. So if you're in the middle of the pack like Mike's or Max was, it it's really hard sometimes to keep her down on the yellow and stay on that bumper. Momentum's carrying you through 200 plus miles an hour. Sometimes it's hard to let out there, but as you said, when they're not linked up center to center, you get the center of your bumper to the edge of the guy in front of you. Bad things are going to happen.
And of course, Barrington, starting in 39th, just squeaked his way into this race. Well, he started in 21st, excuse me, is actively in 39th after that wreck. Obviously used his fast repair that time. We have a lot of cars down pit road now. Of course, we kind of expected that to happen. Everybody trying to get their gas strategies in. Now we're going to watch them as they all come out.
Yeah, definitely some damage guys there. Probably quite a few fast repairs used up. I do expect, or I hope to see things kind of settle down there. Jitters finally starting to settle down. You got 12 or, over 12 laps in now or 13. So I expect to see some people start to settle down a little bit, nerves start to settle, cars start to settle, and start to find their groove, get down into a single file, and they're going to run some laps.
And that is going to be the name of the game. They have to do choose cone this time by before we get to the Veterans Brewery restart zone. So while they go around real quick, we will be right back with a quick commercial break and a word from our affiliates.
I'm ready.
We're back. Quick little break. Give us time to understand what we just saw there, because that was a crazy wreck. Now, coming in 3 and 4, back to the Veterans United Restart Zone for the second time tonight. Second caution, 14 laps in.
Lights back on the pace car, partner. We still got, they extended us one here.
Oh, they delayed it. They have delayed it. Who is in pits? Few other guys going back in. Jeremy Lawson, he's decided to go in pits with the delayed. Might be delayed for eyes in the sky to actually figure out who was all involved in that caution and who could have avoided it. You know, ARCA braking penalties are a big thing here. And they want to make sure they get the right person the correct penalty, or have the time to get that penalty dished out. Normally, the first offense is an EOL. They do have an incident cap out on the night, so I don't really think anybody's touched it yet. But of course, 35 incident points is going to be your first black flag, and if you hit that 40, it's an automatic DQ. So we have a lot of racing left to go. Hopefully no one hits either of those incident point, penalty wise, but you've got to wonder, anything's possible. We've already seen a lot here so far tonight.
Yeah. That's the name of the game, right? We said it before the race. Anything's possible and you don't know what's going to happen. I did eavesdrop on the radio a little bit there. They did have some EOLs to get figured out and make sure everyone is in the right position in the proper lane. The lights are off, and we are getting ready to go back to green.
Veterans United Brewery in a beautiful Daytona track. You know, it's fitting that this is their first race with them being from Florida.
That's a perfect point. I didn't even think about that. Shout out to all our Florida fans down there. You get a chance, make sure you check out Veterans United and have one for me if you would.
Yeah, all of our Floridians in the chat. It is just in Jacksonville. I know you can definitely Google it and it'll pop up for you. Make sure you cheers one to me and Mickey, because we're definitely going to need one after tonight.
Amen, buddy. Amen.
Now pace car making the left-hand turn down to pit road as we go back green on Matt Hudgens in the restart zone.
Couple of new names up front here to the Right Time League. Trying to gain a little bit of respect on the track, let them know that they can race clean and they're good racers and they're here to compete. And Hodgins gets way out there with Price.
Yeah, they're getting
Here
a
comes
pretty
the
good gap.
And here comes the pack.
I mean, at a track like this, you kind of expected it. You could have a lead for so long, especially if you get a good restart, but it's a draft pack, and I mean, there's a huge split. I did not expect that. There's a huge split between pack 1 and 2.
And you seen that last green flag run we had? I don't know if that's a strategy thing or if it's just that rear pack just loses the draft on the restart. But you seen that earlier. It's probably not a bad thing right now this early in the race, kind of split off a little bit. Everyone find their groove and feel what their car is going to do for the night. You know, of course, practice is during the day, qualifying, and then the race is here at night. So you can see some people starting to get single file there, just trying to get in a groove and kind of let the track come to them, let the car come to them, and try to hang around till the end of the race.
There are so many different little packs going on the track right now. You got a 4-car pack in the front and the back. You got a lot of people right here trying to go single file to catch back up. Believe Connor Price is leading that rear pack. You're starting to see a lot of the time difference. They're gaining a decent amount of time right now to that front pack, all being single file. Matt Hudgens leading the front pack right now, and it seems like he's getting a little bit of a run for his money right now as the 11 of Corey Rainey is going to get the lead again because of Williamson and the draft on the high side of the line.
Yeah, you said it. That second pack, you kind of got 3-4 packs now. That second pack, single file from front to back, definitely making up some ground. I'm a little surprised by the slicing and dicing by the front pack so far, but like sometimes the push, the push can take you up or down the track, and you don't have a choice but to get out into that next lane. But as you can tell right here by this shot, this beautiful camera shot here, that second line is definitely gaining.
Of course, Jesse Singleton with a pretty good move there was side by side on the low line. Low line finally gets the advantage for a lead position. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to hold it for too long as that high side is moving once again. Corey Rainey just about door to door now. Lap traffic, that is Max Wiesner. Wiesner is all the way in 31st, at least a lap down right now. We're going to wonder how he's going to negate through the rest of the pack. Does drop to the rear of that first pack, so that could actually help him on times. Now that second pack gaining a lot of momentum, the gap is getting smaller. You got to wonder, is Wiesner going to possibly, never mind, I was about to say, is he possibly going to be in the way of this pack, or is he going to cycle himself out to the rear? But that answers my question right there. A little bit of 2x2 race in there. Everybody's getting around clean.
Yeah, Max, we seen started fifth. Started that green flag run up front. Involved in that wreck there. Had to go down into the pits, get some repairs, and now you see him a lap down. It looks like he's back up with momentum, back in the draft. So, like I said, it's a long race. There's going to be some more cautions. I expect him to get his lap back.
Now back up to the lead. What a great lead it is for Corey Rainey right now, as he's been trying to hold this lead for a long time. He is a high line guy, normally knows how to make it work, and you're seeing it right now. He's doing pretty good at that top side run. Will he be able to hold on to it for a long period of time is the biggest question. Lap 22 now officially going to be completed when they cross the line, and it looks like this lead pack is officially pulling away from that backpack once again. Brothers are separated. Dawson Price in second, his brother Connor Price leading the second pack in 15th.
And Corey Rainey just showing everybody that he's got a car to contend with today. He's been in that front pack all day, in and out of the lead. Definitely making that high side work. The key on the outside is to have someone with you, and we've seen the trend where, you see it here now where cars dive down to the bottom, get to the front of that bottom line, get that fresh air. So the key is to keep someone behind you, but he's definitely making that top line work for him right now.
And of course, while we're watching this front pack, we're going to crank it up for a few seconds and let you hear the roar of these cars on track. Loud engines, great racing. It's what we love to see here at a beautiful track, a very prestigious track as Daytona. Corey Rainey still holding the lead strong for the top side of the field here. Now on lap 25. Highline is really getting the run as now everybody's just single file on the high side. Corey's got to maintain that strategy, though, because with him being in the front for a prolonged period of time, that means he's going to run a little bit more gas than the rest of the field is going to.
Yeah, like I said, Corey's he's just sticking it out there, letting him know that he's the one you're going to have to beat today. Like I said, I expected these guys to go a little bit single file up here up front, stay steady, run some laps, learn each other's draft strategies or how each other drafts. But I mean, kudos Corey. He's the big dog so far tonight.
And of course, lap 26. This time by Dawson Price finally gets the lead. He got tired of sitting there waiting under Rainey. He dove low, tried to get that lead from him. Currently has it right now. Their biggest question is how long will he be able to hold it? Rainey gets the lead back pretty quick as that low line is not giving any momentum. No one on that low side right now, so it's going to be very difficult to keep up with and maintain. That is something they are going to have to consistently keep playing with through a lot of this race here is the back and forth, the give and take, but it's not over yet. It is still very early on in this race, and we are going to see a lot more lead changes before the finish.
All right, there you see Aaron Wright going down to the bottom, taking the lead. The 16 of Justin Baird. Couple of teammates, Right Time Motorsports, 84-71. You have all four Right Time Motorsports, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the bottom line, and sounds like they're pitting this time by. So be ready. Right Time Motorsports coming down. Their first green flag stop. See if everyone can get stopped here.
Almost a little bit of contact there from one of those cars. And Aaron almost spins, connects with one of his teammates accidentally. That is going to hurt on times. Justin Baird was the one he connected with. Hopefully Baird didn't get much damage, because that could cost him either a fast repair if he didn't change it quick enough, or a lot of positions.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Right Time Motorsports there. Justin Baird, I don't think he got a lot of damage out of it. Luckily enough, it was also right at his pit stall, so he was able to recover. He did take tires, so depending on partners, it looks like Aaron's coming out with him right now, so you're still going to have a couple of teammates linked up here. I expect them to get up momentum.
And the rest of the field gaining as well. We're watching these three cars regain on the field. Unfortunately, wasn't fast enough, as they're not possibly going to be in draft when they get to the rejoin area. But definitely have a good strategy as they're the first few out. Possibly could sneak in a little bit of draft there, but that front pack is pulling away just too much.
It might work out for him later if we get some more green flag stops. There ain't nothing better than green flag stop in racing, in my opinion. Shakes everything up, really changes strategies or throws a wrench into someone's strategies. And you see more cars coming down the pits. So I'm guessing, these are your cars that didn't stop on that first caution or second caution. Topping off on some fuel. Some of them taking tires. I think some of them are just taking fuel.
Lap 30 underway. We are going to take a break. For our Twitch Premium subscribers, we're going to go side-by-side action, and we'll catch you in about 3 minutes.
Three NASCAR Cup teams. We got Team 2311, owned by this guy, and three-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs. And they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after one cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Hendrick.
Summer is here and you've got places to go.
She's headed to a golf tournament.
This one's headed to the beach.
And he's headed to a music festival.
And they know every good road trip starts right here.
At Hendrick Automotive Group.
We'll check your battery, tire pressure, top off your fluids,
Check your cooling system.
And do a multi-point inspection.
extending the life of your vehicle.
And keeping you safe.
Anywhere you want to go.
For free.
Just make sure you're road ready. All good road trips start here.
Book your road ready appointment today at hendrickcars.com.
Last year, Ram killed the Hemi V8, and people had opinions. The same people that killed the Hemi sent me out here with these comments. That's not happening. We own it, we got it wrong, and we're fixing it. You hear that? That's our Hemi, and it's saying, I'm back.
Did he say what I think he said? That thing's got a Hemi!
Hell yeah, it does. You want more? Buckle up. Ram's coming back to NASCAR. Let's go. We're back in America's motorsport. The Hemi's back, and we ain't going anywhere.
We are back from commercial. Hope you didn't miss us too much. It has been clean racing during the break. We are officially on lap 35 now, and everybody has been doing a pretty good job of not making me click the restart zone graphic. Of course, if you're just tuning in, this is the YungHitta Collectibles 200 here at Daytona. Speaking of caution.
Yeah, it looks like we got cars down in the infield in turn 3. And that definitely shakes things up with some people being a lap down, doing green flag laps. You got about 25 drivers on the lead lap. I expect them all to pit this time by, so some people might get their lap back, but it just depends on strategy and fuel settings.
Let's try to see where this caution is. Oh, look at that. We found the caution. So it came off of the 9. The 3, excuse me. The 3 car was one of the ones to spin around.
You see the 9 a little bit sideways right in front of them.
Yeah, 9 and 18 really what started it there. Oblinski looked like to come down just a little bit too much. The 47 was trying to go for that mid line. Really didn't have nowhere to go there once he got practically his entire run ended by the 9. Just a little bit too much contact. Got into the 18 as well. They were able to make it clean with no damage, but it is behind them. That is really the icing on the cake. That is not the correct car. Trying to find whose number that is because I don't think their number is matching.
Yeah, you see the 47 tried sticking it in there, and that gap closed real quick, and kind of a domino effect there. Getting word down from race control. 47 will get the EOL on that one. So he will be starting at the end of the line, but this track, a couple of good moves, you can make up for that in no time.
47 being Matt Hudgens. It is very difficult because I don't think some drivers have the correct paint scheme numbers on. So we're not getting a correct report.
Yeah, and I can reassure you, this admin in this league will try to get that taken care of for the future. Why I'm at it, shout out to Right Time Motorsports or Right Time Sim Racing admin. It takes a lot of work to operate this league. We got over 70 drivers just in ARCA to try and manage. So shout out to these guys, all the extra time they put in and making this race possible and making it possible for me to sit here next to you.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and I don't. It's an insane headache. It has to be. It's never as smooth as you expect it to be, but of course, kudos to those guys to making it work. Season 1 was a big one for them as it was their first official league, and I mean, with some of the ups and downs we had, it really wasn't the worst. I mean, it was kind of an emotional end to a good season. And, now that we're back here with a lot more clarity and experience, I feel like season 2 is going to be just as good, if not better than season 1 itself.
Yeah, I totally expect season 2 to progress. I came in week 2, season 1. Just a great group of dudes, great group of guys, great group of people on the track, off the track. I was definitely hooked. I love this league. I love racing with these guys, and was super excited for season 2. Of course, we expanded into trucks, which races tomorrow, also covered by Mr. T-Bone himself. So it's expanding, it's growing, not only by driver counts, but also different leagues, different cars. And so season 2 is officially up and going, and it doesn't get any better than this, T-Bone.
Oh, no, it's only going to get better from here on out. Right now, drivers getting ready to go back green. You see the pace lights off. They are double file.
And to point something out here, partner, something new that Right Time Sim Racing implemented this year is leader gets lane choice. So the leader gets to pick inside, outside. Then second place gets the opposite. And then second row on back falls into position where iRacing tells them. And I believe Jeffrey took the outside lane here. So a little bit of strategy here with the lane choice. I believe this is the first time in the first couple cautions we've had to see this strategy. I'd like to see how this pays off for him.
Well, we are about to watch and see how it pays off. Of course, in the Veterans Craft Brewery Restart Zone. Pace car will make that turn off the track right now, and we will be back on the 21, I believe. High side, getting ready to go. Green flag is out. Few stragglers in the back end there. Already single file trying to make that gas manage work. And that is really the name of the game. Lap 39 this time by will be on lap 40, the start of lap 40, and we are officially halfway through the race. You're seeing Rainey give Morton a pretty, I don't believe that's actually Morton. I think that's Singleton. That's Singleton on the low line. Rainey giving Singleton a good few bumps there. Try to get him up and going. Door to door with Bourne. Now is Rainey's pushing him through the corners pretty good. That low line starting to get the run. They're pretty clean up top. Not much wiggling. Someone we haven't seen much of in the top 10 right now. 65 of Jordan Fisher, where my worlds have officially collided. Jordan runs the Naris Cup Series and Truck Series on Saturdays and has now officially made his debut here in right time, just as much as Jeffrey and Aaron have made their debut in Naris. So I love to see guys joining the leagues that I get to broadcast. It's a good, wholesome experience, you know, especially when you're seeing more of the competition. You know, Jordan is pretty familiar with the 11 he's passing right now. Rainey, that is his season 2 champion. Mark Morton, he also runs in there. Caleb Hess is from Naris. So, I mean, I love to see that we're getting more guys from different areas that probably would have never crossed unless there was a broadcast.
It's a lot of fun to see different leagues kind of come together and run together. It's fun to see skill level from one league to the next, or we bounce ideas on how to admin and run each other's leagues. You know, we're all out here to have fun and make it fun for everybody. So shout out Jordan Fisher for joining Right Time Motors or Right Time Sim Racing. It also makes for a little fun in some of the chats for some bragging rights and stuff too. So it's not only on the track, there's a little bit of competition off the track as well.
Another yellow flag reported, but I don't see a crash. Looking at the replay right now, wonder if it's more network errors that we're dealing with that have these cautions that keep coming out. Because once again, I'm looking through the field and doesn't look like anybody spun.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything either, bud.
We don't have camera angles from some drivers, most likely have parked for the night. Oh no, we had John Wyatt jump to pits, so it's got to be something with his car. See if we could find Wyatt on the track. Oh, he disappeared. I think he's having network issues.
Yeah, it looks like a network issue bites again, and sometimes that happens with these draft tracks. Once again, we've said it before. They're running real close to each other, so sometimes network issues are a bigger issue at these draft tracks. Hopefully, you can get back on track, back into position. We're over halfway now, so I expect things to heat up a little bit, slowly but surely, as we get closer to the end of this race.
Oh, they're definitely going to heat up. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's normally how racing goes. You don't put all your cards on the table too early. And I feel like that's a lot of what we're seeing here so far. Drivers trying to figure out the competition that they do have around them to an extent. You don't want to show the people you're competing against what you're capable of pretty early on. I mean, some of the guys have been driving probably, I would say at least 75% to their fullest extent, especially some of the guys that have been up front. This is a lottery track. You might not end where you started. You might not end where you expected. So you have to really try your best to hold that lead position or hold your top 5 position for as long as you possibly can. The more cautions come out, the more it really helps you. It does kill some laps off, of course, but it gives you a little bit more control over how long you can stay in that position.
So sounds like 71's going to get the EOL there. Like we couldn't find it on track, but we're only under our 4th caution. We had 40 drivers on the track, a full field in an iRacing league. You don't see it very often. So shout out to Right Time again. Kudos to all these drivers. We're over halfway here, only on our 4th caution. So, but as you said, we do expect them to heat up, and it's going to start getting interesting. I'm all for it. I'm excited for it.
I'm not getting camera views from the 71 during that caution.
And that just might be it. I don't know. But that is one heck of a view there, bud. That is a gorgeous view. Beautiful Daytona under the lights.
A little bit of a spin out, and then it's just network issues. So the 71 did spin for the network issue to come out. But yeah, like you were saying, man, beautiful view of the track. And if you look close enough on this angle, you can actually see the racers coming out of the turns. So right now they should. Good God, it looks like I really can't see.
You can see them going into 3 all the way on the far side there. But even then, that's just flat out cool.
Yeah, they are literally ants right now.
Well, it's a 2.5 mile track. That's quite a wide angle camera picture there. So,
see, another cam we haven't shown you guys is our cam from the grandstands. About the 3rd tier of the grandstands, we have a beautiful cam that leads right to our restart zone, which of course is sponsored. Veterans United Draft Brewery is sponsoring our restart zone for the entirety of the season, and we will be back green this time by in that restart zone.
Jeffrey choosing the outside lane again.
And gets a good jump.
It's a good jump there, maybe too good of a jump. Waiting for the 51 to catch up. Singleton. A couple of fresh names in the top 10 here. Banky, Williamson, Francis, Lander. So you can see it's starting to get mixed up. Some new drivers up front and some new drivers in the traffic. So some of these cars, like the 11 of Corey Rainey, now back in traffic. He's been up front all night so far. So I'm really excited to see what he can do to make his way back up there.
Side by side for the lead right now. Bourne and Singleton. Bourne not trying to give way to anybody. He just lost another super speedway on Monday by literally a thousandth of a second. I should have saved the photo and had it ready to show you his loss. And it probably gave him a little bit of momentum to try to go chase that win now. I mean, he was literally close and then just last second maneuvers. So he's trying to get it back in blood here tonight in his own league.
3 1,000ths of a second. And at 200 mile an hour, that's about an inch. And that's what the picture showed, was an inch or two. Just barely lost that one. If you watch Jeffrey here, he loves the side draft. I call him the side draft grandfather. He preaches it. He teaches it. He loves it. It does work. It can be dangerous if you don't have enough practice with it, but you can see it right here. He does it again right there through the tri-oval. He loves the side draft.
Hey, look, nothing wrong with it. As long as you're able to make it work, that is a good thing. If you are a little too risky with it, and it can kind of bite you in the back end. Right now, we're not seeing it bite anybody too much. Not much side drafting has really been done up into this point of the race, and I'm kind of shocked about that. Side drafting really will give you that momentum, but of course, we really haven't seen many single or like multi-car under 5 packs. Right now we're seeing a huge pack in the front with the grandfather of side drafting. Matt Banky is now fighting Bourne for the lead, and this is something we haven't seen much of between these two. We've seen Matt and Bourne on the same track, but we haven't seen both of them fight for a lead position.
And I believe Banky restarted 10th there just a few laps ago, so he was on the move out front, getting a heck of a push from Singleton here. Oh no, we got cars sideways.
We have the huge one once again.
Looks like a lot of cars involved, but I don't see a lot of damage. Matt Banky there, I guess, has a miss in the front end there. We just seen him leading there for a moment. So, yeah, let's definitely take a look at this.
Possibly a bad bump from the rear of the 51, and is Singleton not square on the bumper, caught Banky to spin out and collect a lot of guys in this wreck.
Oh, we kind of seen that one already once today, but got it. Once you get off to the side of that bumper, bad things happen. And it was kind of cool when you first started that replay. It almost looked like you could see Banky's rear end up off the ground from that big push from Singleton.
Yeah, a little bit right there. You can see it. Gets picked up just a little bit. Not enough for the tires to fully come off the ground, clearing the ground, but I mean, still a big enough push to cause a bad situation.
And you see the 28 of Connor Price involved in that one. He's been up front for most of the night. So hopefully he can get that baby repaired and back out on track. Everyone's slicing and dicing.
Hopefully not many fast repairs have been used to this point in time, because there's going to be a few needed this time by when the pits open. We're seeing Williamson, Price, Morton, the other Price, Rodriguez, Jr., Kincaid, a lot of other cars go into pits right now. About second all the way to about 15th and then some, all going into pits this time by.
Let's see how many laps we got left. So you're about 30 laps, 32 laps, depending on a caution or two. I think these drivers might have enough to make it to the end here.
They should have enough to make it to the end here. It's going to be possibly a little bit questionable for that leader right now. Jeffrey's still sitting in the lead. He has not pitted since lap 36.
And I can promise you he does not want to pit. He loves that empty windshield out front. I am a little curious to see what his strategy is coming down to the wire here. 14 making his way back up front.
That is really going to be the name of the game at this point in time of strategy. Will you be able to make it to the end? Will you fall short? Of course, that is really the biggest question. 18 of Mark Randall in pits at this point in time. It's awarding in first place right now, but that could be an error. Might have went into pits early.
at the beginning of the race, you've seen Aaron Wright in the 78 and I believe the 84. They both qualified well, but dropped back to the drop back to the end there to start this race, staying patient. You see them back now in sixth and seventh. They are teammates. Look for them to link up and make a charge to the front. And they got another teammate up in third.
Jeffrey started in 19th, is in the lead right now. Justin Baird started in 36th and finds himself in the top 3. And of course, Christopher DeWald started in 4th and finds himself in 5th. So pretty good on the night. Justin Baird being the biggest mover of the night on the positive side of gains. We'll go ahead and throw that on the screen on the right side of the tower. Baird is up 32 positions from where he started on the grid.
That's got to be a contender for the biggest mover for sure. So I guess he started in the back, and now he's made his way up to looks like 5th place. He showed great promise and skill in some recruitment and preseason races, so I do expect him to make a move for the front as well. It's still anyone's race.
So we are getting word Mark Randall, the 18 that we saw in pits that point in time, has had a blown engine for some reason. Driver probably money shifted and didn't pay attention to it. But unfortunately, it seems to be he's going to be out for the night unless he's able to get that damage repaired. Possibly already used his fast repair, so that's really going to hurt him.
Yeah, hopefully he's got that fast repair left. Get back out on the track. You don't wish that on nobody. These engines and these transmissions take a beating on this race.
Now in the Veterans United Draft Brewery restart zone, Jeffrey Bourne of the 21 on the outside takes us back to green flag racing. Lap 51, 30 more laps to go. This point in time, the biggest question is who is going to take away the first win of the regular season here at the YungHitta Collectibles 200.
It's exciting. To start off the season with a win really gives you the confidence, not only week 2, but the rest of the season. You got a good start on points. You showed you're a contender. You've kind of made a name for yourself at that point. So this first win is very important for points and just driver standings on the track.
A good wide view there. You see a lot of the cars a little wiggly. We're going to watch them go to the backstretch looking as if we were a fan in the stands. And it's just beautiful racing there. Beautiful view. A lot of cars still 2 by 2 in their lines. And of course, can't pass under that double yellow. So you got to do it on the track. We're seeing a little bit of 3 wide racing in the top 5.
And there you have it, the 78 out front, 21 on his bumper. Former teammates, a lot of respect between one another. So I expect them to be linked up for a little bit, but you get down to that white flag, I'm not sure that means anything anymore.
And that possibly could be a situation we are going to see here tonight. Is there going to be a big rivalry between former teammates, co-owners, and owner of the league, Jeffrey Bourne and Aaron Wright? Right now, Wright doing a good job holding the pack strong. You see Jeffrey there still behind. A lot of single file and a lot of names we're familiar with slowly starting to pull themselves in the top 5. The 74 of Chris Sprecher now behind the first 2 cars in that line with 27 more laps to go. Justin Baird sitting in 5th. Christopher DeWalt in 4th, rounding out your top 5. Sturkin in 6th. Francis 7th. DJ Norris and Dawson Price fighting for 8th and 9th right now, with Omar Rodriguez Jr. rounding out your top 10.
Again, there's some big names up there. Some of these new drivers. We got Wiggle. We got Wiggle.
And a huge
Another big
crash.
one. Another big one.
That is most likely going to end a few people's nights due to the fact that a lot of fast repairs have already been used here. We're looking right now at the 54 of Dawson Price. Seems to be crab walking a little bit in that car. That's not going to be a good scenario for him. Yeah, look at that wheel. That wheel is turned all the way to the right. Car obliterated on the front end, and that's going to cost him a lot of time if he doesn't have that fast repair. That really could end his night a little early on his pit stall, but I don't blame him because he really can't turn. And does. Well, 254s on the track. That confused me for a second. I mean, just an insane hit. Just look at this hit. Now we see here, we'll back it up just a little bit earlier for you guys to understand what's going on follow cam. Looks like the 94 actually got a little bit of a big hit there on the outside line to the left-hand side of your screen. That costed him to go down low. Made contact with the 27, the 54. Had nowhere else to go. Same with Omar as he tried to dive, seeing all of that momentum, but it unfortunately washed back up on the track with DJ Norris. And of course, the 54. So that costed a little bit of damage there, but then if you watch, just a few more seconds go by, 89 gives a huge shove, 1 comes in and slams the 54 into the 82 of Norris, puts him up off of the ground. We'll go ahead and watch that in full speed this time. Now, of course, like we said, I don't either. Now, looking at the inside view of Corey Rainey's car at the time of the caution, it happened just to the left of him. We're going to play it in full speed so you can see how fast this developed. No time to adjust. I mean, literally no time for him to adjust at all. We're going to take it back as the 94 had contact on the high side. You see it go, and there was nothing else he could do. And that's really the name of the game. Ooh, Corey Rainey crab walking there. I don't know how he's doing that anyway. That's insane. Cockpit view, the wheel looks straight, but the car is literally crab walking. Insane situation from a seasoned driver. He's back out on the track right now. Looks to be in 16th position. All damage repaired on the car, so that is good for him. Unfortunate, the fast repair is out only on lap 56. So that could be very detrimental. Of course, going back up to the front of the pack, Jeffrey Bourne still the leader. Pace lights are off, signaling they are going to go back to green flag this time. Jeffrey choosing the low side as his co-owner and old team owner Aaron Wright is on the outside. Chris Sprecher just behind with a nice T. Elliott paint scheme on behalf of David Callahan and decals. And back out green in the Veterans United restart zone here. 23 more laps to go. The question is, can they keep it green the entirety of the rest of this run? Pit cycles and gas strats are kind of out now, as the caution has let a lot of people back into pits, possibly when they wouldn't have. So it's going to cost a little bit more due to the fact that now most likely everybody's on a full tank. Jeffrey's last pit was at lap 36. We can actually go ahead and get this graphic on screen for all of you guys. Jeffrey Bourne's last pit time was lap 36. Sprecher's was around lap 42, and it was only 8 seconds, so you can tell that was definitely a gas and go. Sitting in third right now, Baird, he pitted at 41. I believe everybody else starts going up. Aaron Wright at 42. Same with Christopher DeWalt behind. He was at lap 42 as well. And then just as you get out the top five, Melton pitted at lap 55. Same with the competitor behind him, Mark Morton at 55. I think the last person to really be in the 20s is Kevin Nolf, who last pitted at lap 28. And that is an insane thing to see.
See how it ends up. If Jeffrey can make it to the end here, or all these guys up front can make it to the end, or if they still plan on having another caution or two. I'm right in.
Beautiful cameras here tonight. The cameras, the graphics, the stats, it's all in-house, baby. Well, we appreciate you too, and all the fans you bring, man. It's easy to know when Mickey Stewart's on the track because they are already calling out your name before we even go live.
Love it, love it. I've always had a good support system. Love them guys, and I can't wait to hit the track tomorrow.
Tomorrow is going to be an insane race, of course. Make sure to pop around. I'm going to pop the schedule up here real quick. Well, we got 19 to go. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. We broadcast the American Stock Car Racing League on Mondays. 9:05 is about when their green flag is. Of course, we are here for Right Time right now on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the inaugural Season 1 Daytona 500 for the trucks. And be sure to catch us here, something new I could say, and on YouTube for the NARS Cup and Truck Series Fridays and Saturdays. The time needs to be adjusted. It is 8:45 for their green flag. I'm hearing spinning tires in the back of the field. Not good.
Another big
another
one.
Huge one.
Probably the biggest one yet, bud.
And that is not a good situation because Aaron Wright is involved in that caution. As a lot more people most likely involved too. We're going to see. We actually have names: Chris Sprecher, Fisher, Baird, Barrington, Norris, Landers, Lawson, Nolf, Melton, and Sherrow, all involved in that caution.
Another big one. Another shout out T-Bone. It's heating up, and some people making some moves, making some big pushes here, getting towards the end.
Good.
And this
Lord.
one started up front.
Did you
Looks like
see
Bear-
that?
That's a heck of a push there.
They are inside each other's cars. They're pushing that hard. Huge wreck comes out. 91 of Omar Rodriguez. He can never catch a break. He goes around. You see Chris Sprecher, we're watching him. He went around as well. Omar's view in the middle of the pack, it just stacked up bad. And they had nowhere else to go. Unfortunate situation. Huge one that comes back out. Another caution out on the track. Jordan Fisher's perspective in the 65 on your screen, middle of your screen, and back of the pack, and unfortunately had nowhere to go. Couldn't brake fast enough for the caution. Justin Baird as well involved. He was about sitting not too far behind the initial wreck. He's in the 16 on the bottom side of your screen. He probably got the best out of all of it because he was off track. Didn't really gain much damage other than that rear tap that kind of sent him around. Now we're looking at Barrington.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of these guys, this is their second involvement. So I expect a lot of them not to have their fast repair left at this time, and they're going to have pit crews are going to have to get busy. Kudos to the 16 there, not hitting that inside wall. It's a good save. A couple of the 63 really squeaked by. The 47 made a good move to get through there, but it stacked up and it went wide, and there's just nowhere to go.
Now, of course, another big one on the track. Not a good situation to be in. We are going to go to a commercial break, and we will be right back in a few minutes. Don't go nowhere.
no matter what happens. Good day, be in victory lane.
Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
What a victory this will be! Next flag is going to hit. Does he have enough? Let's go! A dominant performance. They're going to say no, baby. Let's go!
You got to earn this thing.
It is all on the table.
If you're just tuning in, this is the wreck that sent us to this caution actively on the track right now. Big pile up from the entirety of the backfield. Not many cars able to make it through the wreck without damage. Then, of course, going back to the race right now, they are back under green. Someone we haven't said their name much at all tonight. Mark Morton in the lead right now of the race. He is a very prestigious driver, a very seasoned veteran here, and he is officially in the lead with a huge pack behind him with 14 more laps to go. You see him blocking on that low side, using that high side to his advantage. He's another one of the high side guys. He prefers that high lane over that low side.
Yeah, been quiet all night. Ain't heard his name all night, and now he's out here leading laps. Like you say, he's a veteran. He just like I said earlier, he's a veteran that likes to help guys as well and give them tips and pointers. So kudos to him leading that lap there, and see if he can stay up front.
He's doing a pretty good job right now. Jesse Singleton in that low line, trying to lead it back up to him, but Morton, Price, and Francis have practically pulled away from their pack at this point in time. The 28 and the 26 are locked on bumpers, and this is a good thing for David Callahan Racing as they are trying to get that first win of the season from a driver that has the capability of doing it as well. You're seeing a huge gap in packs right now from whoever else is left on the field. Chris Sprecher now sitting in about 11th, just outside the top 10. Jeffrey Bourne, he led a lot of laps. He's now in 15th place. Aaron Wright behind him in 16th. Then you look back, someone else who was involved in that wreck, Omar Rodriguez Jr. is locked up with Barrington, was also in that wreck. DJ Norris in 21st with the 01 of Calvinalco in 22nd. Corey Rainey sitting back here in 23rd now. And it is a tough situation for most of these drivers. Colin Carpenter solo by himself. A lot of solo drivers in the back of the pack. And then you have a huge pack in the front. That's going to cost a lot of time difference to those drivers. And the momentum run, another wreck in the backfield. And another caution is out. Aaron Wright once again involved in that caution. 8th caution of the night.
A tough break for the 78. Just right in front of him.
Nine car came up a little bit too much and got into Bourne, put Bourne in the wall, and dove the 78 nose first into that outside wall.
Yeah, tough break for the 21 there. Like you say, he was leading laps out front. Usually when you're out front, you can stay pretty clean and run some laps. But, you know, that pit strategy, you had to pit that last caution, put him back in traffic, and a little bit of coming up high, a little bit of going down low, and collects the 78. You know, we're fortunate it's just 3 cars on this one. You see the 33 going down to the infield, riding that grass line there on the apron, trying to avoid the best he can in that 33 Auburn car. So just 3 on this one.
Sad situation to see, though. Blinsky thought he was clear. Definitely did not have the clearance to go up. Was already committed to it, unfortunately, and caught the 2 previous teammates of Right Time Motorsports, Aaron Wright and Jeffrey Bourne. Now the 8th caution of the night is out. We're going to go ahead and drop the race recap up to this point in time on your screen for you. The time of the caution, Mark Morton is your leader. Lap 71 will be going to 72 this time by the line. This is the 8th caution of the night. We've had 24 laps of pacing so far, but only 12 lead changes. And honestly, I feel like where we're at now in the race with about just 11 laps, 10 laps left to go, I feel like we would have had more than 15 lead changes by now. I feel like that's pretty light.
Yeah, really, the only number that surprises me on that race recap is the lead changes. You expect it to be a little higher, but the top line have shown a little more dominance, it seems. And they've kind of held the edge on the inside line there for the most part. And most of the time, people go from the outside lane down to the middle and lead that line back up to the front. But that hasn't really seemed to be the case today. It just that top line, whoever's leading that top line seems to be able to hold that lead, is why I think you have less lead changes. But yeah, that's the number that surprises me for the recap.
It is pretty shocking too. I mean, I feel like we had 22 lead changes for ASCRL on Monday, and we were here at Daytona as well. They go to Talladega, as it is a super speedway league strictly. But I feel like at this point in time with these cars, I feel like we would have had more lead changes. Like you said, that top line's been dominant, but it doesn't seem like it feels like there's been more than 12 so far. Like it's just when you actually look at the numbers with the amount of laps we've had, you would think, you were already up into the 22s. But I feel like majority of the people that have held the lead have held it for at least 15 to 20 laps. Or, some of the few that have touched have held it for only 1 to 2 laps. So, I mean, in all reality, it does make sense. I feel like within the last 10 laps to go here, we're really not going to see that number shift drastically. You might get maybe another 5 lead changes sprinkled on in there, depending on where the wrecks come out, depending on how the high line has a jump here. Of course, Morton being the control car, he's on the bottom, so he's going to have a really good jump, which I'm kind of questioning what his decision was to go low. Of course, we've seen him really dominate on that high side. He normally dominates on the high side in general, so you got to wonder if he's going to get a really good restart here and then jump up to that high side, or if he's going to try to hold this low line and maintain it for the rest of this race.
Hey, I would expect him to hit that restart zone and try to get a little bit of a jump on that outside lane and then move out. That kind of gives you a space on that bottom line, and kind of slows them up a little bit because their lead car moved up. And then hopefully the outside line has enough momentum to pick him up and he can get back out on the outside and lead that outside lane.
Now, of course, looking at where he started this race, he started in 10th, so he's not too far from his original starting position. Not the heaviest mover of the night right now. Looking through the field, there's a few. We will drop those names after we hit the restart zone. We don't want to miss it. Beautiful sponsored restart zone by Veterans United Draft Brewery. Of course, they are sponsoring this restart zone for the entirety of the season. So shout out to Veterans United. We appreciate your patronage, and I believe they would definitely appreciate yours too. If you are in Florida, go ahead and check them out. Mark Morton takes us back to green in the restart zone, and of course he got the run I expected and immediately went right back up to the high side, wondering if you're going to see him block that low line here or if he's even worried about it. As he can see in his mirror, there is a train on the outside, and it makes sense. His nickname is Crazy Train, so it would make sense for him to be leading the train right now on the high line.
I don't know if I've heard a more fitting nickname, T-Bone. Yeah, and there you go. The outside line again. The inside line kind of spaced out, lost a lot of momentum, has dropped back. Probably looks like 6, 7, 8 cars here. Outside running single file, staying patient. 8 laps to go. I don't expect it to be like that all 8 laps.
No, I'm not expecting it either. Right now, you're looking at the ARN blimp cam in the sky. That low line is now back up to only 4 car lengths out. They're starting to get a lot of momentum on the outs on the low side. 7 more laps to go. That leader is now currently encroaching on Mark Morton. Just 2 more cars to go, and they will be door to door fighting for the lead. Will it happen, or will they fall off again? You only see 4 cars really packed up before there's at least a car and a half of a dropout. But now the 27, Matthew Francis, door to door with Mark Morton. Morton and Francis changing positions a little bit here. Morton trying to get some of that side draft, but not too much. He just gains back out in front, but how long will that last? These lines are churning now. Low line has a lot more gaps in it than the top side does, but as we've seen all night, that top side does have the run.
Yeah, the bottom line is definitely making a move at this point. They're falling off a little bit here, but as Kevin Nolf pushes to 27, you'll see him catch right back up coming into this turn. Connor Price staying patient on that outside. Wonder when he'll make his move.
Oh, a little bit of blinking back there from Baird. He disappeared and rejoined the field. Believe that's Baird in the 88 in 10th place roughly right now in the 16 car. Everything looks to be good from him now.
Running a Biffle throwback in Biffle's honor. Love to see it.
And not many throwbacks. I expected a lot more throwbacks here for Daytona week, especially it being the 25th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt Sr. But of course, you know, everybody's trying to get their paint schemes recognized the first of the year. These guys have been working on these paint schemes for a few weeks now, so it does make sense. You know, you want to run your own scheme, wreck in the backfield again. That is Caden Roy in the 12.
A big push on a quarter panel.
55 of Corey Moore as well involved in that.
33 of Charles Blake Sherrow crab walking there. Got involved in this one as well, it looks like.
You just hate to see it. Left front tire bouncing on the track. Definitely looks like he broke an axle or a toe. Could be a detrimental situation. All 3 cars lined up there. Hudgens, Sherrow, and Landers all missing front bumpers. We're going to go ahead and go back to that wreck here, see exactly what happened from Caden Roy's perspective. You see it right there. Broke loose and came down. Now looking at Corey Moore's situation. He went back. It literally just came out of nowhere. With Moore going down, the 55 really had nowhere to go. That caused a lot of damage on some of those cars. I believe the 71 was also involved. Or is that once again the wrong number for the right paint? It's the 47 behind. I do not even have a 47 on my telemetry, so
Hudgens, or let me look here.
Is that Hudgens? Oh, I see him. Yeah. 47. Yep. Okay. He got collected by the 84 on the high side, that being Christopher DeWald, which then collected the 14 and, of course, Sherrow. So, unfortunate situation. 47 got a really bad brunt of all of it there. And that's also what broke Sharrow's front wheel.
It's another one of those nowhere to go cases, and that's just one of the games we play at this track. If you're on the high side and they start coming up, just hold on because it's gonna hurt.
Now, of course, entering pits, someone stopped in the middle of pit road.
Well, that's interesting.
Now they're finally making their way down pit road. Corey Rainey into pits. DeWald, Landers, Matt Hudgens, Colin Carpenter. He's on his way out. Sharrow, Aaron Wright. Now into pits this time. Corey Moore, DJ Norris, all in pits.
Yeah, I think some of these are previous damage. Got thinking that car stopped on pit road, probably had to wait for people to pass them before they could enter pit road without getting a black flag. Aaron Wright, you seen going back down pit road, fixing damage from the wreck earlier. You seen him get a bumper back on there, so hopefully he can get back into the draft and make a move here at the end.
And of course, at that point in time of the caution, the 26 of Mark Morton is going to be your leader. The 27 of Francis is going to take second place. Connor Price in third, Kevin Nolf fourth, and Brett Sturkin rounding out your top five. Just outside of the top five, completing the top 10 in sixth is Pete Dillon. Seventh is Jesse Singleton. Eighth, Jeremy Lawson. Ninth, Caleb Hess. And Christopher Calvaneco in 10th.
I'm glad you had to say it, not me.
I've butchered his name enough. I didn't think I could do it again.
All right, partner. Are we going green, white checker here? It looks like they extended the caution.
I believe this is actually going to be green, white checkered because passing the line this time is going to start lap 79. With it only going to lap 80, it has to be a green, white checkered. While they're pacing around the track, I just want to point out that GoFundMe link that we have posted in chat. That is a GoFundMe link to donate to a 2-year-old little girl named Bristol and her fight against leukemia. The goal is almost hit. We are almost there at exactly what they are needing. Of course, it is donating protected. So please, please, please help that little girl if you have the opportunity to, and please support to fight for her against leukemia. It's 85% of the goal raised, about $4,255, and all proceeds go directly to the family to help her with all of her doctor costs.
Yeah, you hate to see it, T-Bone, but I love to see a community come together like this to get close to that goal and be on the verge of getting that goal. It's just awesome to see our communities come together.
Man, they about hit that goal one night. They had an anonymous donation of $1,000.
Dang, shout out that person. Heck yeah.
I respect them for doing it anonymously as well. It wasn't about the notoriety of it. It was just about the situation. So, I mean, respect.
100%. Got chills. Got chills. Love it.
Of course, pace car off, hopefully for the last time tonight. Mark Morton on the outside. Matthew Francis in the Veterans United restart zone. We are back green. 2 laps to go. As long as they hit that white flag lap, there will be no more cautions. So now it is a trying time for a lot of the drivers that have tried to do everything to get that win tonight. They only have a few more opportunities to do it and just a few more corners. Kevin Dolph diving low there, trying to get the run. Mark Morton to the high side, blocking Matthew Francis again. Francis going to dive low now that he has the opportunity, but he's going to fall off, which is going to give the position to the 28 of Connor Price. Now it's going to be the 26 and the 28 bumper locked as the low line tries to get it turning. You see on the blimp cam there, excuse me, not much cars on the bottom side. They are about 3 lines wide. There's a wreck in the backfield before we took the white flag. Will it be thrown? No caution, white flag out this time by Mark Morton. Now trying to get a first win of the season. Will be his first win, of course, as this is the first race, but there's a lot on the line here. Bragging rights, a big trophy, and a lot of momentum for your team moving forward. Connor Price still in second. Doesn't seem like there's going to be enough of a run here. Morton rounding it out. He only has a few more corners to go. Will he get that victory? Big runs on the low side, not going to be enough. Another wreck in the backfield. Coming to the line, the 28 is going to go on the inside. Connor Price just beat out Mark Morton for the first win in the same situation we just saw on Monday. Thousandths of a second has just taken another win away here at Daytona.
Wow, what a call, partner. Exciting 2 laps there. You can't ask for a better finish. Like you said, just like Monday, we're going to have to go to the photo on that one to be sure. You know, it says unofficial results, but it's got Mark Morton at second place with a 0.000. So, I mean, that's just how close it was. Excellent finish. Great call by you, T-Bone.
And of course, this is believe I might be a little bit too late. We're going to have to wind it back just a little bit more. Let's go to the white flag run. Watch it here. Huge wreck in the backfield that finished out a majority of drivers. Mark Morton currently had the lead at that point in time. We're going to try to get it as close as possible. Of course, we don't have a start-finish cam. I need to make one. We do have a flag stand cam. Checkered is waving. This is them coming around to that flag stand there to get the first win of the season.
We asked earlier, when's the 28 going to make his move? And I would say last couple thousand feet, another wreck there in the back of that pack you see, but I mean you're in the tri-oval when the 28 makes his move. The third place, I believe was that Dylan, went with him, gave him just enough to get past the 26 for the win.
I mean,
this is
spoiler,
a great shot.
Spoiler to spoiler.
That's a great shot from the stands. That's the best seat in the house right there.
Connor Price takes it within thousandths of a second there.
Yeah, Connor Price, a new driver with David Callahan Racing. We knew their team was going to be real tough this year, and they are off to a great start with the win there.
Feel bad we didn't watch them burn it down. I got to show them burning it down. Got to show the victory lap here. First victory of the season. Brand new driver. Of course, getting some congratulations from the other cars on the track.
a DCR teammate there in the 92. Omar Rodriguez Jr. It's a beautiful Kubota paint scheme. It's going to look good in Victory Lane, too.
Oh, for sure. Going to look really good in Victory Lane.
Congratulations there from the 54. Second place, Mark Martin coming up. A little bit of showmanship here. Oh, doing a burnout together. You've earned it, boys. You've earned it. Congratulations.
Connor mowing the infield as he deserves it.
Right now, the landscape guys in the infield. A lot of work to do on Monday.
Beautiful fan cam in the stands.
And you see it, partner, a Toyota there.
I called it.
You called that at the beginning of the race. You expected Toyotas to do well and finish well here, and here they are in Victory Lane.
All Toyotas in the top 4. Did not expect that. One lone Chevy, that being Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 5th place. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, all 21 of you in here, do not go, well, excuse me, 26 of you in here, do not go anywhere because we still have top 3 interviews to go. Of course, Connor Price started in 17th tonight, found a victory in the late stages of a race. Mark Morton started in 10th place, found the 2nd place finish. Pete Dillon started in 23rd, finished in 3rd. And Calvineco started in 5th or 6th, finished in 4th. And Omar Rodriguez Jr. starting in about 15th. Finding himself in the top 5. Now official results on the left-hand side of your screen after that replay, that review. We have officially claimed Connor Price as the Daytona 500 winner.
Congratulations, kids. Heck of a start coming into a new league.
Now we're going to give the drivers just a few more moments to get out of their cars. We should have Mark Morton, Dillon, and Connor Price all waiting for their interviews.
I'm excited for this part. I'm curious to know what Price was going through Price's mind that last lap. He had to be shaking like a leaf. At least I would have been. Yeah, perfect execution on his part. So I'm excited to talk to him. Mark Morton, although he might be a little disappointed, second place is nothing to hang your head on. Great finish on his part as well.
Well, we are about to see, seems like all drivers have gotten out of their cars. We are officially going to start our interviews. We're going to go ahead and pull in Pete Dillon. He finished in 3rd place. We will go from 3rd all the way up to our winner. Save the best for last. Number 63, Peter Dillon, now joining us here in the booth. You got a copy on us, boss.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. You started pretty far back, about 23rd tonight. You were able and managed to get yourself all the way up into the top 3, along with 3 other Toyotas. I feel like you know, the Toyotas did have a little bit of a disadvantage tonight as the field was kind of overran by Chevys. The biggest question is, how was the racing for you on the track?
For me, it was fine. Just trying to stay out of the trouble and moving forward and working with my teammate and just keep going straight.
Now, of course, 74 to 75% of fuel was in those tanks. How did that strategy, with a lot of the cautions that came out, how do you feel like that kind of played into those green flag strategies?
Yeah, only strategy for me was pit every caution, get fuel, top off, go back out.
Now, lot of cautions, a lot of big ones. I saw you whiz your way through one of them, being, I believe, the second to last caution of the night. Kind of take us through what you were thinking as you were watching, that big one come out on the backstretch.
I saw it late and just kept bobbing and weaving, and my teammate Christopher Melton just sent me a picture, and the 11 was actually in my car. So obviously net code, but I got through.
Now, of course,
luck counts here, Pete. So
yes,
shout out on that one. So I'm curious. I want to know about the white flag. You're running third. Connor Price went down low. You went with him. What factors played into going with Connor or instead of staying up top with Mark?
There was a couple times where I was behind the 28 and just one of those things, 50-50 shot, and I just went low. I think he got there with the nose, so good for the 28.
I mean, we still got a lot of racing left to go. Only week 1 out of 14. We have some crazy tracks lined up. Next week will be Rockingham. Then we go to the first road course, being Lime Rock. Nashville, just to name a few, Martinsville, USA International Speedway. How are you feeling about not just the schedule in general, but your possible opportunity to be able to, claim a victory for yourself here?
I'm pretty new to it, so I mean, I don't want to get too worked up about the wins and everything, but I got a great teammate that helps me, teaches me, and make sure I'm making the right moves and stuff. So, it's nice to be up here at Daytona because like you said earlier, it's just luck. So, see what happens moving forward.
Now, of course, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, we always love to ask if you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody out there possibly watching or, any of your sponsors.
Thanks for you guys, the broadcast, the league, the Right Time Sim Racing League, and my teammate Christopher Melton for Moose Knuckle Motorsports.
Well, seems to be a good night. Of course, didn't get the win, but still a top 3 is a good night in my book. Congratulations on your finishing position, and we definitely look forward to seeing a lot more of you on the track. Hopefully, more interviews to come as well.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You too. That was our 3rd place finisher, Peter Dillon. And before I even pull him in here for everybody watching live, I got to do something because I get yelled at every time I don't do it. So I'm going to do it tonight just to shut him up. We're going to bring him in here. Mark, you can't yell at me tonight. I actually got Crazy Train playing on the broadcast. I got Crazy Train playing on the broadcast for you, so you can't yell at me tonight. Of course, you got swiped by literally, I would say probably another 3/1000ths of a second. How are you feeling? You got beat out by your own teammate.
I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm a little butthurt because, being part-time, I would have enjoyed it, having a win. But I mean, either way, DCR got 1-2. So excuse me, M&D got 1-2. So I mean, either way, it was a hell of a fucking race and hell of a finish. I hope you guys enjoyed that one up there in the booth.
Oh my God, we couldn't avoid enjoying it. I mean, you guys gave an insane last 3-lap run there to give the finish. I mean, I was actually kind of surprised. We came back after reviewing that wreck. Boom, your name was in the front. Didn't really see much of your name up there earlier on in the race, but knowing you and your strategy, you like to sit in the back. You like to use that high line when it comes to your advantage. You claimed it when you did. Unfortunately, just fell literally thousandths of a second short. Kind of take us through your strategy from flag to flag here of this race.
Well, in the beginning, I was away from my simulator, so I accidentally missed the start. So I started 39th. Didn't have the draft. Thankfully, that caution came about 5 or 6, 7 laps in. So I was able to get back up to the field. Worked, dodged, duck, deep dive, and dodged through all those wrecks, and made it up to 9th. And then I got rear-ended under caution, so I had to go all the way to the back just to fix my damage, and made it back up. And it was just it kind of, in a way, it kind of sucks giving away like the secrets, the sauce in a way, because the more I race here at Daytona, no matter what series it is. I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but for the ones that didn't know and that now know, the outside line is definitely the preferred line. If you can side draft and have good people that can push you behind you, unless they split the gap, there will be nobody that could ever pass you on the outside. But I was just, I was put my my vehicle, my Robin Hood Toyota Camry in the best places possible, and it worked out. And it worked out till the last 2 feet.
I would definitely
So-
say the last 2 feet.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And my question mark is the 100 feet before that when Connor made his move. He had a pretty good run on you. Third place went with him. Did you expect him to make a move sooner? Did he surprise you at all?
No.
Or
My bad, go ahead.
no, that was basically in my question.
I was gonna say no. I mean, on the back stretch, I was like, I bribed him a little bit. I was like, I'll buy you 2 paint schemes if you give it to me because I'm part time. And he goes, I can't make any promises. And I mean, even before the race, I mean, like during the race, I told him, I was like, I'm glad you're a teammate, but the last lap, it's no whole bars. And he was like, yeah, it's pretty much it's the same way. And then I was like, crap, I was eating my words when I bribed him a little bit, and I knew he was gonna make a move, but I didn't want to wreck him or wreck us both. So I mean, I pinched him, but I didn't want to you know wreck us and somebody else take the win away from DCR.
Well, I mean, man, there's really no words. It's an insane finish. This is 2 Daytonas that I've watched somebody that I know get beat by thousandths of a second. I mean, it's an insane situation, especially your comeback story, not being at the same for the restart, starting in 39th with no draft, finally making it all the way back up to the front. You led a decent amount of laps here tonight too. See if I can get the actual count on that.
18.
Well, there we go. 18 laps on the entirety of the night. We joined a few that also were in the lead. Of course, it sucks losing, but as a part-time driver, it's probably going to hurt your odds at some tracks depending on when you can come back. Where are and when can we expect you to return here in the ARCA car and possibly pick up another victory?
I mean, realistically, I can show up every week. It's just kind of hit or miss, but they asked me to help David do race control, so as much as I would love to be on the track, I don't want to leave David out in the race control, so I'm gonna help David in the race control. And I mean, if I mean, I more than likely probably the tracks that I know I have a really strong shot at winning. You'll probably see me there, as long as me and David kind of making an executive decision to where like we expect not to have a lot of cautions. So I mean, as long as we expect not to have a lot of cautions, and David allows me to, then you'll see me in that 26 Robin Hood car quite a bit.
Well, I know for sure. I hope to see it. Of course, you already know the drill. Before we let you go, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to anybody?
Yes, first and foremost to you guys. You guys are awesome. I always enjoy watching the stream, even while I'm racing or after the race. Kind of like I enjoy looking at all of my paint schemes that I made for everybody on the track. Not David. All the crap he's talking about is not true. Definitely David, Connor, his brother Dawson, Omar. I think I said Caleb already. Everybody on DCR, or excuse me, M&D, showing up tonight and putting on a hell of a show for you guys. And Aaron and Jeffrey and Matt and everybody for putting the league together. It's just from the night and realistically the preseason races, just how everything is. You guys are going to be up. You guys are going to be in a treat. Blah. You guys are going to be in for a treat throughout this season, both with ARCA and trucks. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys.
Well, of course, so close, but not close enough. So, congratulations on the second place takeaway here tonight. It was good seeing you rejoin us on the track for season 2, and we definitely look forward to seeing more of you, if not here, definitely in the truck series.
Oh, 100%. You gentlemen have a wonderful and blessed night.
You too. And that was the second place finisher, the man that had the plan and unfortunately fell just a little bit short. Crazy Train, Mark Morton, which means we only got room for one more guest. That being our race winner, Connor Price. Oh, let's get it to work now. There we go. Oh, Mr. Price.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What a finish. Take us through your mind. The last turn coming out of 3 and 4 there.
So once out of 2, coming out of 2, that Mark, me and him got lined up, and he told me, he's like, "I'll buy you 2 paint schemes if you push me to this win." And I said, "No guarantees." And throughout my head, I backed up out of 3 to leave him a little bit dry, but mainly so I could suck up to him coming out of the outer turn 4. And I managed to just get a good enough run, and he didn't try hard enough blocking me, I guess. And I saw a gap and went for it, and luckily Dylan ended up following me down and pushing me through that. I thought I timed the move completely wrong and handed it to him, but the 63 gave me a good enough push. But if gap car, basically, is what happened.
Now, of course, you started all the way back, qualified in 17th, had to make your way through the field. You sat in the second pack, leading for a long time, in about lap 20 or so. How, was that more of your strategy, or you guys were kind of falling off pace there mid? I mean, we saw a lot of cautions, which gave you this opportunity to, start slowly advancing your positions back up into the top 10. But kind of take us through how you had to maneuver the cautions, whether you were in them or out of them, to finally get yourself up within that top 5.
So it would say strategic call to lead the second pack. I saw how much energy was coming through the first pack very early on in the race, and I was getting very unsettled by it, being lap 20 or so, and them just pushing the ever living crap out of everyone and just way too much energy for my liking. So I backed up. I knew I was going to sacrifice some gas doing that, but inevitably it gave me the room to avoid a lot of these wrecks. Well, maybe not avoid, but not get a whole lot of damage. I mean, I got involved in 2 of the accidents, and I ended up only having like 30 seconds worth of damage on both. But it was a strategic call, and avoiding the wrecks, it was basically slowing down and avoiding people arca breaking. And this, from a lot of my experience with this, is a matter of slow down, and once I know I'm clear, watch my mirror and make sure I don't get hit from behind.
I mean, it was a difficult field going into the qualifying session. I feel like we had almost roughly a good 53 people in here. Of course, a lot of them got the axe. Did you feel confident enough before you hit that track for qualifying that you would get in, or did you kind of not know how much speed the competition around you had?
I wasn't sure about qualifying pace at super speedways because it's a completely different animal to qualify at a super speedway than it is like a mile and a half or a short track. So I was really unsure of the pace, but I was fairly confident I was going to get in. I did mess up my outlap. I did not carry enough speed off of pit exit during my quali. I was worrying too much about tire temperatures for qualifying, but I felt pretty confident I was going to make it in the main show tonight.
Well, with this race now officially in the books, you have 13 more weeks to go here. Rockingham is where we set sails to next week, all the way in North Carolina. And then, of course, Lime Rock third. That is going to be the only road course we touch this season. And then Martinsville week 12, of course, go to the paperclip. And then the longest race of the season, week 8 for Pocono. How do you feel about your odds to put yourself back in victory lane again?
I'm fairly confident. Rockingham's going to be a battle. It's normally quite hard to pass at Rockingham. It turns into a one groove track about 50 laps into a run. I'm fairly confident at Lime Rock. I know me and Dawson Price, my brother, I know that we are very good. Maybe not very good, that's tooting our own horn, but we like turning right, and I feel it does well for us. So Lime Rock's probably my next big ticket for me, I feel.
Well, I mean, you had an incredible last run there. You had, I would say, a good race. You minimized your wrecks. You had a really good wreck avoidance there for the entirety of the race, only being in 2. How do you feel like you need to move forward now, knowing that you know a lot of how these guys race? Of course, a super speedway is hard to really pin everybody for the rest of the season when it comes to the intermediate tracks or the short tracks. But now that you've kind of acclimated yourself to majority of the competition around you, how do you feel like it will be to navigate with them or through them again?
Uh, so I'm fairly confident in the ability to navigate through and to end up towards the front at least, battling for podium every week. I feel pretty confident. David, he puts the money into the cars and gives us really fast cars and very slick paint schemes. And I have confidence that we'll end up front. I feel a lot of the avoidance and staying out of trouble in this league is going to be qualifying in those front couple of rows and trying to stay up there through pitch strategy and whatnot.
Well, Mickey, would you like to ask him anything before we let him go for the night?
Yeah, I'm curious about that beautiful orange Kubota paint scheme he just brought up. DCR. Are you suspicious at all, or superstitious at all, or will you be running that paint again next week, or you change it up?
I'll be running the Kubota orange until we come into the specialty nights, the specialty paint schemes. I take it as a good luck charm that we ended up in victory lane both races that I ran this Michigan for the qualifier races and the first official race, ending up in victory lane with it. So I'm gonna keep rocking it.
It looks great, man. It looks great in Victory Lane today, and hopefully we can see you in another one here soon.
Already sounds good.
Of course, before we let you jump out of here so quickly, we always like to ask if you have any shout-outs you'd like to give to anybody.
I really want to shout out my mom and dad for watching. Girlfriend Carrie sitting here next to me watching the whole race. The whole team, the whole DCR team, keeping strategy very forward and pitting together and keeping it very straightforward race. Thank you to Mark for helping me Pied Piper to the front and leading these laps. And I want to give a thanks to Dylan for just following through and not wrecking me when I chopped his nose coming to the white. Yes, sir. I hope to be talking to y'all more. All right, you too. Good night, y'all.
It has. I'm sad to see it end. I want to do another race. Is there another one on the books tonight?
Unfortunately, our time has come to an end here for the Right Time ARCA series, but you can catch us tomorrow because we will be live tomorrow night at about the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, for the Trucks Season 1, Race 1. And then, of course, you can catch us Fridays and Saturdays here for the Trucks and the Gen 6 Cup cars for the NARAS Cup Series and Truck Series. And, of course, a nod to our new group joining us here on the broadcast schedule, American Stock Car Racing, Mondays at about the same time, 9:05. Man, looking at this field, it was a battle the entirety of the way through from green flag to the checkered. I wouldn't have thought it would have been as hectic as it was at some points, but of course, for it being a super speedway, I didn't expect anything less.
No, went about as expected. Some good driving, good pushes. The finish was definitely better than expected for Asphalt Racing Network to have two finishes like that so far at Daytona with two more races to go. Those are going to be hard to beat, but got trucks tomorrow. Can't wait. I appreciate the opportunity, you and Asphalt Racing Network, and I can't wait to do it again.
Well, of course, we appreciate you joining us up here in the booth tonight. You will be back for the Daytona 500 and the NARAS Cup Series this Saturday. So I look forward to working with you one more time. But of course, tonight has to end at some point in time, and that time will be now. We appreciate all of you if you're still tuned in now for joining us on the Asphalt Racing Network, whether you are returning from Season 1 or if you are a brand new viewer. Make sure to hit that follow button, turn on your notifications, not only for Right Time, but for the other leagues when we go live. It has been a pleasure calling the YungHitta Collectibles 200 on behalf of the T. Elliott Heating, Air Conditioning, and Commercial Refrigeration Season 2 ARCA League. We thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you have a good one. We will catch you later.
Good night, everybody.